How you doing, everybody? I hold my phone at this angle just because I can't hold it up with my pain issues, but um, I'm officially retired as of today after 21 years of service, and I'm grateful for that. I worked with the nicest people in the world. They threw me a retirement party last night that it was so humbling. I'm just so grateful. Tony, Tammy, Joanne, and a list of others, Mark, Cassie, all these beautiful people that I had the pleasure to work with. Why am I doing this video? It's because you shouldn't take the people you work with for granted. You're not going to mesh with everybody, but even this morning, a person that I didn't mesh with had the decency to send me a text message wishing me the best in my retirement. Now, I didn't care for this person much because of the negative things that were said and about me and my disability and so forth. And my disability caused me to have to take some breaks at work, but I never would inconvenience anybody through the course of my disability. And what a disability is that I just can't do things as fast as I used to, but as compared to everybody else in my office, I kept up and I tried to show a good work ethic. The purpose of this video is that when you get to your last day of work, like today is mine, you do a lot of looking back. And my regrets are not many, because I always tried to stand up to somebody, not in a combative tone, but if there was an obvious disagreement in your office, to just stand up and say, in a calm tone, "Oh, I'm sorry, I know we got off track, but listen, I respect you. You work here like me, and I want things to be right between the two of us. I don't want you hating me," is what I used to tell somebody that I knew was saying something negative about me. I'm the son of a union president. My father started the union for federal meat and poultry inspectors from the ground up just by seeing somebody not being treated right by a manager. When that happened to me, and the purpose of this video is if a manager is being condescending upon you or reprimanding you in an offensive or combative tone, apologize first to lower the tone of what might be real tension. And you apologize first and say, "Do you want to talk later?" Now, you being the employee speaking up to a manager and saying, "I'm sorry," because you genuinely are. And if you're not sorry, wait till the tone of the conversation or another conversation to say, "This is really what's bothering me. This is why my work isn't up to par. You know, I might have brought this up before of what's bothering me, and nobody took any action. So I'm just asking for somebody to listen to me now so I'm not reprimanded again, so we can, come to a peaceful resolution that even if you don't respect your boss," and there was times I didn't respect mine. For one, it wasn't age. I'm over a decade older than my old supervisor, but I felt that, at times I was being treated pretty rudely at times. I would wait for things to calm down. I would send a gentle email saying, I don't want to upset you. And I don't think anybody does want to upset anybody where they work in an office environment. Nobody would have that intention. If you do, you gotta go, because you're carrying something in your mind that's just not serving yourself, let alone the people around you. You might be aggravating them. So when I had to request reasonable accommodations at times where I was at a point in my physical therapy where the chronic headaches were just so extreme, I would have to take 3 days off at a time, which is why I'm so grateful to my employer for the time that I was given off, that I earned off. I earned the time off. I didn't, abuse any time off. As a matter of fact, I had 3 weeks use or lose time at the end of every year. At least 15 of those 21 years, I had that amount of time built up. So make sure your attendance is up to par. If things aren't going well, in your office, and you really care about the job and you really need the job, you want to exemplify humility, that, hey, you might believe something is right that you're doing in the office and it's not being recognized, and you just don't feel any worth. These are the times to bring up during conversations with the supervisor that you want to speak at the same tone. You don't want to speak at a higher tone or a higher volume. That's not going to build rapport. In my 21 years of customer service, I've learned that you have to try to speak at the same tone. Now, if they are aggravated and they're raising their voice, you want to bring it down by saying this: I really am sorry. I don't want you to be this upset. Please give me a chance. Please give me a chance to get you in a much better state of mind than you are right now. And hopefully they'll bring the volume down, and they might look down and get their thoughts together and say, and you can say again, I really am sorry. I don't want to aggravate you. I have to abide by the rules of my employer, and I am sorry. I will do everything in my power, because you will do everything in your power. A follow-up phone call, a follow-up email that might be a little uncomfortable. Focus on how good you're going to feel after you send that email or leave that voice message or that text message saying you are genuinely sorry, because you are. And if you're not, again, explain, hey, listen, this is why I am the way I am around here. And I used to say that to my very first supervisor, who I loved. And I used to say, when I'm answering a call, or I have a person-to-person interview, taking care of somebody, and they're really being disrespectful, I keep my supervisor in mind all the time of how much I respect them. They hired me, and I got to show that appreciation. And I know I don't look too terribly healthy right now. I had a few last night with my co-workers who were so genuinely kind in Scranton. I love all of them. But again, getting back to, if it's going to be a combative tone, bring your volume down, like mine is coming down now. And then hopefully they'll come down and say, listen, do you want to give it another 5-10 minutes, get your thoughts together, and we'll meet in another 5 or 10 minutes. Please try to relax. And when I say I'm sorry, I really am sorry. I don't want to see you all worked up like this. Step-by-step communication to healing a wounded conversation. And I have my regrets over the last 21 years. I lost my patience. I never cursed, but I did show some physical movement of my hand going up in the air, sighing. But I've never cursed. Don't ever curse. Just, if you feel that you're on the verge of dropping an F-bomb, immediately think about how bad you're going to feel after you say it or drop it. So, I'm going to follow up. I'm going to do another video because I'm a little hungover. And, but I'm so grateful to my office staff who was so cool to me. So think about your retirement day, if it's 10 or 15 years away, and just say, when I retire, I might regret what I'm about to say, if it's negative or condescending or something of that nature. I remember Andy Stump, the Navy SEAL, who, when Joe Rogan asked him, when you were going through the training and you were about to quit, when you were swimming in the ocean, and the doctor's there with the stethoscope to see if you're still breathing, and you're swimming and you're ready to quit, you're exhausted, you're freezing, and you're ready to quit, what are you thinking? He said, I never thought past the next minute. I didn't think that I got 4 more months of this god-awful hellish training of becoming a Navy SEAL. He took it one day at a time. I think he's the gentleman that owns the Black Rifle Coffee Company, I think. It just came to mind, that's why I'm bringing it up. But comparing some really brutal training, something you're about to go through, you're going through something, take it hour by hour, day by day, small steps is what I believe it takes to really solving any kind of problem. Like that Stephen Denier video, he's another awesome gentleman that he was doing yarn bombing and putting yarn around children's hospitals to cheer them up. That gentleman, he took everything day by day, step by step, small goals, small achievable goals. So if you're going through a bad time with a supervisor, or you're a supervisor and an employee's not giving you what you want, clean communication. Remember, you got that from the K-Dog, Chef Kevin Carvalho. Clean communication is what it gets down to. And one thing I got to say about my supervisor, I just shook his hand yesterday. I was in tears because I know he's a great man, and I felt that I let him down a little bit. Maybe sometimes some of my interviews didn't go so well, but I always made up for them by answering more phone calls or taking more interviews or asking for a little extra work. I was always there with that. So if things aren't going good at work, offer to do a little bit extra, but also say you want to learn a little something along the way. You know, a little win-win is good. So I hope and pray you're not going through a tough time at work or your business. But if you are, remember, small step by step, clean communication cures all. And just focus on how much better you're going to feel after the conversation's over. This uncomfortable conversation that you're about to have with somebody that either hates you or you hate them, or it's an even level of hatred. Just ask yourself, what do I respect about this person? Little empowering question. You know, and that'll get you in a little bit softer state of mind. And just say, hey, I'm sorry we got off track. I really am. Please have peace. What bothers you? Take note of everything that bothers the other person about you. And then you say, may I say what's been bothering me? And take it step by step from there. And then hopefully it'll heal up over time. But today being my last day of work after 21 years of service, I just want to say how grateful I am to all the people I worked with in Scranton. And God bless Scranton, PA. It's a great place, great city. And I wish all of you the very best. I can't wait to start doing my low-fat, high-flavor cooking videos, which was my goal the whole time I was in my customer service job. I'd go to my job, then physical therapy every night. And this is over 30 years I've been fighting this pain. And I think I'm really close to being pain-free. I hope. I'm not there yet. But when I do, you're going to see me packing on muscle and getting in shape. And I truly hope I can really inspire you. I'm Chef Kevin Carvalho. Have a great workout, everyone. Cook first.